the first step.
Chat calling out Feldman's 60K pot.
Oh, with
Win
Esfandiari?
again against Esfandiari.
Yeah.
That's an exciting hand to watch.
Yep.
I'm just happy to see Ryan win a big one. He had not been running great on the show lately.
That is
so
true.
It was good to see him run good on the bigger stage.
It's usually how it all starts and how it all ends.
But I told you when I do blind, I always like to
restart on the button for 50. They did one round of 500 each.
Asian Moo asking, what the fuck? Can we get a clip?
Of what?
I believe there is a clip on YouTube.
Oh, that's, yeah. It was the hand of the day. I think it was released today.
Yep.
Oh.
How can I bet 800 with no queen?
50?
I think I saw it already when I was at home.
I definitely saw it. Both live and the hand of the day version.
And
210.
210 from Scott with queens. Poker Life 143.
210.
Just come back to the game for me, bro.
I'm playing blind.
Oh,
I'm joking, I'm joking.
He announces he's playing blind after raising with queens, but then quickly clarifies that he's joking.
Okay.
So, flirted with the angle. Gonna get called in a number of spots. Harry with ace-5, Amir with 7s, Francisco with jack-9 suited, and Eldar with queen-9.
Should have been you and me. We got it. We got it.
9, 8,
Wow.
6, 2 clubs. Amir open-ended with a backdoor flush draw. Scott with still an overpair and a backdoor flush draw. Eldar flops top pair. Francisco flops top pair. Harry flops a gut shot.
And Amir's got open-ended.
Dynamic board.
825.
One of those boards that are like,
That's 825.
bet, call. What the F just happened?
Yep. And a large bet for protection here from queens.
9, don't believe him.
And the first player to have a decision is Francisco with top pair.
Call.
Where's 10-7 of clubs when you need it? I had it once earlier.
I'll take 69 and dinner for 2 maybe.
And Francisco's going to call. And now it's on Amir with open-ended backdoor flush drawn a pair of 7s. These are all very weird spots. For everyone. Pretty weird spots for everyone.
And one thing to notice, like a board like 9, 8, 6, even though it's not necessarily visual if you don't see it, like Jack 10 is open-ended. And a lot of people play Jack 10.
Yep.
And Queen 10 is a double gut shot.
Quick fold from Eldar there with top pair. Noteworthy. Good fold.
And he was in bad shape. He can't hit a queen.
This hand's gonna be
And
one. Fill me and don't mark my hand.
so queens are still the best hand here.
Okay. You gonna go smoke?
Amir just with the open-ended, and Francisco, this 8 is bad for him as his jack can no longer beat queens, so he would need the case 9 to win this pot, as we saw Eldar folded one of the 9s already.
All in. Player goes all in.
Queens is going to shove, and now I think this is going to clear the field, but I could see Francisco finding a call. I think it's going to clear the field.
I'm not prop betting anymore. I already learned my lesson. Tim F is like, and the award for poker commentator of the year goes to Wayne Chung. Thank you, but not gonna happen.
You weren't nominated?
15.
I was not nominated, and I'm not attending, as we are here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was up in the air whether I should attend it. Maybe next year. I feel like I don't know. Didn't do enough
Fair enough.
last year and a half.
24, 60.
I was really glad to have hands with all this generation. Actually, I don't have any hands with you.
Francisco does fold.
Now Amir.
And I don't think Amir can do anything but fold here. What were you saying?
I have hands with all of like this generation's, like, you know, I think you're one of the few people I don't have a hand with. And I'm just like, you know, I feel like that's my debut for on-camera play, and then just go from there.
Makes sense. Yeah, no, we've played on the same show very, very briefly.
Right.
Before, but I don't think we've gotten involved in anything significant.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's going to happen eventually in the future, especially when I play the bigger games, but
No, Gumbo, no future.
Last, like, half a year I've been only playing the side games.
Right.
And not so much No Limit. And those are too small for you. I don't blame you. I was the same way. Now, obviously, life's different. Like, playing for camera more, I'm a prop, and, you know, trying to put out more content in a different direction than everyone else.
Yeah, it's just a different set of
It's
priorities.
totally different life, yeah.
Amir is getting chips together to call this.
Heads up, right? I just wondered. I don't care. You can take your time for another 30 seconds.
Eldar, are you in the hand?
Seem pretty comfortable.
This would be a light call. Particularly,
Just has to not believe.
things like the sevens and the seven of clubs are contained in the most likely bluff hands as well. So
Right.
it's a particularly weak bluff catcher.
It would have to be, or you'd have to, like, be creative and think he has, like, Jack 10 of diamonds, Ace King of diamonds.
Yeah, there are hands you can come up with, but there's just not enough of them.
Right.
Good folds, and Poker Life will take that one down.
No, bro, you're fucking
Crazy, man. How do you fire in 5 people with a bluff?
Don Trump in the Twitch chat asking what does he think he's beating. What Wayne just said, basically overcards plus flush draw, or
Overcard,
overcards
club
plus
draw,
straight
yeah.
draw. Jack 10, Jack 10 with a flush draw, or just any 2 overs with a flush draw.
Even Ace 10, you know, was kind of a bluffish hand.
Yep.
Like,
Wayne has hair made for radio.
You lost the spot, you know why?
That's why I'm streaming and you can't see us.
Yep.
no, it's over. We don't
Came
have to
back
talk.
to you.
I got my point across.
It doesn't
Savage.
matter, bro.
Shout out to How to Change a Tire Like a Badass Biatch. That is the Funny or Die episode I am on. That's also on
You shove the
IMDb.
flop, you fold.
If I shove the flop,
And Weeze directed it. His girlfriend, Kat, wrote it.
what do you do if I shove the flop?
Sweet.
You fold with
I'll
him,
have to
you
check it
know?
out. Good night to Surf and Snowboard.
See you at PLO, Surf.
Constant regular in the chat. He's played on the show, I believe, as well.
A lot, yeah. And his PLO game has improved.
Fold or shove?
Tom G asks when the Feldman Antonio hand happened. That happened last Friday. So,
He folds?
just under a week ago.
So Francisco mixing it up,
Big
limping.
pots here. Francisco's done a lot of limping today, including with some strong hands. Amir's going to isolate with kings. Serves with nines, decides to just call, which will keep in Eldar and Francisco.
He doesn't need a 7. He doesn't know
I
anything.
was trying to figure out, you said 10 outs. I'm like,
Yeah, he has it. He's right. 2 7s,
Two sevens or
yeah.
4 10s, or 4 5s. 4 players.
But at that point, I'm like, just fold.
Surf asks if 70% VPIP
I
and
say,
PLO is
I say
bad.
if I have more than 9 outs, I
Is
don't.
it
I mean, it depends on the field, right? If someone's playing 100%, 70% may not be the worst thing in the world.
We have a continuation, or not a continuation bet. We have a donk bet from Eldar here. So Amir was the pre-flop aggressor. Eldar leads into him for 100, and Amir is going to raise it up to 300. A good fold from Serge.
Yeah.
Wow. Both guys just fold.
Snap. Yeah.
That pot could have been a lot larger.
Right.
It's a lot of respect there for Amir from
Yeah.
both players, folding an over pair and top pair strong kicker.
Post Deville says Wayne is the archetype of a gamma man. I don't even know what that means.
Jeremy Stark asks for an explanation of what Feldman said to Antonio. Antonio asked Feldman why he took so long to call, and
Oh, because it.
Feldman said, "I
Third
didn't
nut.
want to embarrass you."
What? Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I know this stuff, but I don't know.
I don't have a.
Well, okay. So
guess-
to be fair to Feldman, I don't think he plays those stakes that often, and when those happen, like those things happen, and it's like all in shove, it's just like you kind of like brain freeze. And I remember the first few times I
Takes
played
a
really
minute to
big.
process it.
Yeah, and you're like,
Guys, you guys
oh,
wanna go one
king high
round
flush.
double straddle?
I am never folding in this spot, unless
Or
it's like
triple straddle one round?
super old man that never bluffed.
Yeah.
And even then, I probably won't even fold.
It's just, it's the biggest spot I think he's ever played in his life. He took 5 seconds to call or 10 seconds to call.
Yeah.
It's just not a big deal.
Right.
And his comment about I just think he didn't know what to say, and he just said that.
Yeah. Well.
I'm not sure how snapping Antonio would embarrass Antonio, but if he snapped him with like
What's the schedule?
ace high and was good, then
Is that
yes.
even embarrassing? I don't even know if that's an embarrassing.
The argument you can make is it's like I
Disrespect.
read you so well that
Yeah.
like, you know, I didn't even take time to think about this like insane hero call. But yeah, I don't think calling with the second nuts is an embarrassing thing. Like if you snap it off, it's a hand that can snap. I just think that he needed a second to process. And,
Right. Yeah.
And then
No,
didn't have a quick response.
I've definitely been there.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think that you can really levy any accusations against the way Ryan played. It was a large overbet as well in the river.
Chris with a good read on the situation here.
I had the 9. He didn't have a 9. I mucked queen 9.
Yeah, Chris is... The flop checked through and Chris called a bet on the turn. This is going to be a tough spot to check call if Harry decides to fire this river. But Harry gives up, and that's going to do it. Chris will take down
Chris
the pot.
thought he lost.
Yeah. That's one of those spots that you almost feel better about your hand if they bet.
Right.
They check sometimes.
Yeah. No, that happens all the time, like outside with people or players who are very familiar with each other. When it's like, I check behind, they're like, well, my hand's 100% no good if you check behind.
Yeah.
If you bet, then, you know, hero call, they have a chance.
One-handed for 2200.
Right.
Say you win 1,000, you lied to us.
Here's the 1,000 I won. What do you want?
How about the other 1,000 I saw you?
I had it before the game in my pocket.
No.
I gave it to you. No, no, I
I
gave
took
it
500 from here. I
Ace,
forgot I had this in my
ace.
pocket from before.
Chat asking who's up, who's down.
These numbers look wrong.
Yeah, I believe Eldar is winning. He won a big pot. I believe Harry is down a bit.
Fucking, I don't know what.
Restraddle on seat 8 for 50.
I'm trying to. These numbers that we have here tonight don't look
One more like that, I call.
perfectly accurate.
Right.
So
They-
I
they
can
don't
do my
add up.
best to guesstimate how each player is doing, but we don't have exact numbers tonight like we normally do.
Got to raise the 150 from Surge in the cutoff. Eldar on the button looks like he's just going to call.
I just have good hands.
Suited ace.
I call bullshit on that, Chris.
It's my good hand.
No.
Suited
Like,
Broadway
what you
for
consider good
Francisco, pocket pair for Amir, and Doyle Brunson for Harry.
Rip Doyle. Just kidding, guys. He's going to be live at the bike.
Has he
No, we're trying. No, we're
Okay.
trying to. It's
tough to get him out here.
yeah.
Ace, king, queen. 2 pair for Surge. Top pair for Eldar. Bottom pair and a gutter for Francisco. Turn changes nothing. Surge with the best hand.
Do you like Surge not c-betting here?
He was third to act. I think it's
He was
likely mixed. I
Also
think
the
it's-
PFR too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think both are fine.
I'm so good.
A lot of these hands and flop decisions,
Or
I
yeah.
think that mixing is best. More or less, I think the best thing you can do is not do the same thing every time
Right.
with
No,
these hand types.
that definitely agree. And I think one of the big things that people get too attached to, like training sites or pre-flop charts, is like poker's a dynamic game. You can't do the same thing over and over. There's things that are definitely bad, but
Pre-flop is relatively static. There are some hands that mix, but not a ton. Post-flop, until the rip